Happy belated Halloween, my faithful viewers.
Sorry about that. It's me, the media guy here. Today I'm going to be doing a revisited edition review of the Scary Godmother movies, Halloween Spooktacular, and The Revenge of Jimmy. Yeah, I decided to do like a double feature second look on these movies. Now I know what you're thinking. You're probably gonna say, dude, Halloween was over like a couple of days, almost a couple of days ago. Which you are technically right. Cause funny enough, I wasn't even thinking about doing a second look review of these movies because I guess I just got caught up with everything else that I somehow forgot to check out these movies again for Halloween this year. Silly me. So I guess I decided to do them again for November. I mean, hey, better late than never if you know what I mean. So since if you guys saw my review of these movies separately last year, you pretty much know what to expect from Scary Godmother, Halloween Spooktacular, and its sequel,
The Revenge of Jimmy.
But just in case you guys need a bit of a quick reminder on what these movies are all about, I got you covered. Take a wild ride to the fright side. In this wonderfully unique Halloween special, little Hannah Marie is excited to be going trick-or-treating with the older kids. But her mean cousin Jimmy tries to ditch her in the dark basement of the
spooky house.
Hannah is rescued by her scary godmother and whisked away to the best Halloween party ever. It's a who's boo of monsters with Scully Pettibone, Harry the Werewolf, Orson the Vampire, Bugaboo, and more. Oh boy. All in one unforgettable night of big screams,
strange pizza,
and the ultimate plan for revenge on Jimmy and his friends. Grab your flashlight and take a wild ride to the fright side with all your favorite characters from the books by Jill Thompson, who brought to life an eye-popping 3D CGI animation. Now for the plot of the sequel. Will the fright side survive
the revenge of Jimmy? Halloween is coming,
and Scary Godmother is making her big plans for another spectacular spook house party. Unfortunately, Jimmy still hasn't recovered from last year and has come up with a dastardly plan to put a stop to Halloween for good, complete with
monster traps, smashed pumpkins, and more.
Now it's up to his little cousin Hannah and her
monster friends
to put the tricks and treats back into Halloween. It's an adventure full of wild surprises,
spooky times,
and a whole lot of laughs. Join Scary Godmother, Bugaboo, Harry the Wolf, and more in this ride to the fright side, based on the best-selling books by
Jill Thompson.
Okay, I promise to stop doing that voice throughout the entire video because I'm already making my voice sound a little bit hoarse, and I have a feeling that you guys are already going into the comment section, pointing out that it's getting a little bit annoying. So, after giving both of these movies its second look treatment, even though I still should have done this during the Halloween season, I still had a good time with the Scary Godmother movies. Yeah, the CGI animation may not be spot on perfectly compared to like the CGI movies of Pixar or DreamWorks or whatnot. But for a couple of made-for-TV specials that aired on Cartoon Network back in the early to mid 2000s, these are quite revolutionary for its time. Both of these movies have a lot of enjoyable and recognizable characters, still have some decent animation, even though it kind of reminds me of early VeggieTales and Elmo's World animation. They do have some interesting plots for the beginning, middle, and end. And I gotta admit, the voice cast are spot on perfectly. Even though I wasn't 100% familiar with what of their roles in other TV shows and movies, or even know who they are. And like I said before in my original review of these movies, these are like the type of movies you could watch over and over again during the Halloween season. Mainly the first Scary Godmother movie and its sequel. For the first movie, it is quite hilarious to see Hannah being introduced to Scary Godmother and her friends as they all get prepared for a special Halloween party, you know? I mean, at first, Jimmy and his friends were only trying to play a creepy Halloween prank on Hannah, which I guess it didn't go so well as they hoped they would. Because they were waiting so long that they basically missed out on Halloween. At least Katie and Daryl somewhat got a head start on trick-or-treating and didn't waste any time. It is cool that Hannah's starting to accept that not all monsters are scary and terrifying, because most of them can be quite friendly too, which is pretty nice. I did kind of chuckle in my mind a little bit about when Hannah was first being introduced to Bugaboo. He was really starting to scare her half to death without trying to, and started chasing her all over the house. Even Scary Godmother and her pals were getting in on the chase too. I'm telling you, it's like something you would see in a Scooby-Doo movie or something. As for the revenge of Jimmy, it starts to go for a whole revenge plot cliche. Cause in the sequel, let's just say that Jimmy didn't recover from his little scare from last year's Halloween, which was all planned by Scary Godmother and her friends from the first movie. In fact, so you can see that in a nutshell. He became like the Ebenezer Scrooge of the sequel, when instead of hating Christmas, he starts to be more of a Scrooge towards Halloween. I'm surprised he didn't throw in a Halloween past, present, and future. Okay, well, to be fair, that probably would have been like a Christmas Carol knockoff, which I guess I can sort of see why, but still. And Jimmy even tried to come up with various ways to ruin Halloween, which really seems to affect the daylight, or at least spookiness, out of the fright side. Like smashing all the pumpkins, vandalizing all the candy and costumes in various stores to make it look like the candy is poisonous and the costumes are flammable, even TPing the spook house from the first movie. But I guess his plans didn't go so well as they hoped. Because Hannah and her friends managed to find fun ways to make Halloween better. Like how the pumpkins look like they already have mouths. They can come up with new Halloween costumes and treats. And have a Halloween party at the spook house, since it says it almost looked like Jimmy was decorating the spook house. So I guess the Halloween joke's on him. Yeah, I already know I pointed this out before in my original review of these two movies, but it doesn't hurt to bring them up again. Now, I probably said this before in my original review, but I didn't read the Scary Godmother books, which the movies were based off of. Well, 2 out of 4 of them to be exact. Because I didn't even know that these were like based on books. I just thought these movies were their own original things. Until I was much older, and to know that they were based on books. In fact, I should thank Huey Toomore of Huey's animated movie reviews for bringing this up when he reviewed these movies with Animat, aka Electric Dragon 505. Though two of them really went into a lot of details about how these two movies became to be. In fact, I'll probably leave a link to their 3-part review of the Scary Godmother movies down in the description below, just so you guys can check them out as well. And trust me, they're a lot of fun. So anyways, I honestly think the Scary Godmother movies, Halloween Spooktacular and Revenge of Jimmy, are really fun movies to watch during the Halloween season. And even if you can't find, even if you don't have cable TV anymore, I'm sure you can find like the full films being uploaded on YouTube, or at least watch other people share their thoughts on it. Like Huey Toomore, Animat, and Nostalgia Critic. He remembers it so you don't have to. Since the 3 of them had already shared their thoughts on the Scary Godmother movies, which is fine by me. Now, as a matter of fact, I might leave a link to Nostalgia Critic's video on the first Scary Godmother movie in the description below, so that way you guys can also check them out as well. So are these Halloween movies perfect? Well, maybe the animation's a little bit off, and they do have a bit of a short runtime of 47 to 48 minutes. But other than that, these are real fun made-for-TV special movies. And who knows? Maybe someday I might pick up the book series someday. If I could find them at some point. And I'm glad I got a chance to give these movies their second look revisit edition treatment. And yeah, I know I said this before, said it a few minutes ago, that I had to rewatch these again in November instead of doing it around October, which I know it's pretty understandable. I mean, lesson learned. Oh, so anyways, I'll give these movies 5 jack-o'-lanterns out of 5. You know what, better yet, I might have to go overboard and say, and give these movies 10 glowing jack-o'-lanterns out of 10. Yeah, I know that's a bit much, which I know that's what you guys are gonna point out, but hey, can you blame me? So thank you guys so much for checking out this revisit edition of the Scary Godmother movies. And I'm glad I got a chance to do a double feature review of these movies. They were a lot of fun to do. So make sure you have a fantastic day. And happy belated Halloween, everybody. Even though this is meant to be the Thanksgiving season after all.